Very, very warm. Good evening. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is Tuesday, the 3rd of March, 2026. It's the day before the Indian women's national team will get to play in the AFC Women's Asian Cup. Tomorrow, the first match against Vietnam. And we see here our head coach, Amelia Valverde, as well as likely captain Sweeti Devi, talking to the international media. And we'll come to that. We'll talk about the ISL, about the one match suspension that Mohun Bagan Super Giant have received for the unruly behavior of their fans and using pyros. And we'll talk about other things as well in regard to Indian football on this channel. As always, like, share, and subscribe. Earlier today, Hiren and I did our ISL Game Week 3 review. Watch that on Hiren's channel. Thank you as always for the support. As I love to say, like this video, share this video for other people potentially to join into our conversations. And of course, also, if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. We stand at 3,868 people who support the channel. And as an info, I am trying to keep my work schedule free tomorrow to be able to join all of you and speak and do a live watch along of the, and watch and do a watch along tomorrow about the game. So therefore, I'm looking forward to that. And and therefore, that is something that I would like to do. So therefore, as always, I need your support and thanks as always for that. And let's get going as such. Renan says, IFF doing some decent work. You have a good panel for weekly review. Renan, I've not seen the review so far, so I can't judge on that. I'll surely have a look what the weekly review was about. But yeah, let's see what they speak about, and we will surely do that as well. Bangladesh women were amazing today against China. Today they kept China to just 2-0 and the run in by Ritu Chakma shot to go was just wonderful, brave Bangladesh women, says Hitesh. Yeah, interesting has been so far in this round one of the AFC Women's Asian Championship that no team has really run a riot, right? Australia won 1-0 against the Philippines, South Korea won 3-0 against Iran, North Korea won 3-0 against Uzbekistan, China against Bangladesh. Even though if you look at the match stats, and that's the thing, which it's, um, so therefore for me, it will be interesting to see what happens. And tomorrow we join the party. First off, Japan versus Chinese Taipei, and then Vietnam, India. And let's hope and wish that our women's team can also pull off some sort of result. New low by AIFF. Yeah, Raj, it is difficult to some of the stuff. Let's see. I've seen now that the team is going to be wearing those Macron jerseys, look really stylish. So that's a good thing. So let's see. IFL is good. May in coming year, IFL improve. We expect weekly review videos. Good. Okay, XNP. It's a shame that AFL sent loose jersey to team and tomorrow's game they're forced to buy jersey. Yeah, XNP, I think it's a logistical nightmare on one side because the AFF could not send the team out with a kit. I think that's your first problem. But again, the AFF has not been able to source a new kitting partner after Performax left, right? No one, again, I've heard now a lot of people saying, oh, this and that an option. Sounds like to me from what I've been hearing and talking to people that was not the case. And then whatever has been shipped from India for the team, whoever has done that, and supposedly it was a big Indian brand who's done it, that was not of the size. And then of course they have to go out in the market. I know the person who did it, good capable guy who actually tried to source for a decent price some good stuff. So the AFF is actually spending own money to now source kit and jersey, and not the best situation, but again they were forced to do that. Second to use AFF decreasing the value of ISL X9P. It looks like it, no? It looks like that the AFF indirectly, or sometimes I feel even proactively, is trying to not increase the value of the ISL, which I find on one side very sad. But and it's interesting also that a lot of people who have been part of the Indian Super League ecosystem that they're partner of the IFL, promoting the IFL rather than the ISL. So that's an interesting part that I'm seeing in the back end. Even though I have to also say that there's a lot of people who've worked in the Indian Super League over the last few years, some even more than a decade, have actually decided to actually do the ISL gig for 4 months for much less money, try to keep it alive and much smaller teams. So therefore, that's also a reality that in the back end, there are a lot of people trying to do. And for me, that is also good to see that there are people within the system. Not I'm not talking about the top management, but I think I'm talking people at the operational level who are trying to ensure that Indian football stays alive. I think that is something which is, I think, very, very important not to forget that Indian football is in a situation where we would say, you know what, is it happening? Is it not happening? Is it working? Is it not working? And at the moment, we are in a situation where I would say, um, very difficult, very complex, and that the ISL is still alive, that the IFL is still alive, is actually those guys, the operational guys across the board who are keeping the leagues alive and running, and that is, I think, very, very important for Indian football. Let's go, Team India, says Atarf. Yes, let's go. The Indian women's team, they need our full support. I hope all of you are watching tomorrow and supporting the Indian women's team in their first game against Vietnam. It's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff Indian time, 7 p.m. local time in Perth, and it will be um, a 12 o'clock kickoff here in Germany, 11 o'clock in sort of CET, Central European time. It's 11 o'clock kickoff in the UK. So I am planning, trying to do a live watch along tomorrow. So do support and watch it. So therefore, yeah, let's wait and see what happened. Where is Bhurbara Smith? I have no clue. I don't I don't follow him in the way that I know where he is all the time. Manvi says this Bayern team looks so much promising. I'm happy Musiala is finally back. Hope Carl also regains his confidence. Harry Kane should win Ballon d'Or. Let's hope now for UCL. Now Mia San Mia. Yes, Mia San Mia. Manvi, let's see what Bayern can win this year. Good evening, Siddharth. Welcome back to the Arun Foot discussion. And yeah, the other thing to talk about, of course, is besides the whole thing regarding, um, um, you know, so for me, is the suspension of the AIFF. Uh, 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 so therefore, for me, Mohun Bagan has been given a stadium ban for its match on Friday on the 6th against Odisha FC for, again, what they call multiple instances of pyrotechnics, and the AFF, the newly constituted AFF disciplinary committee, has now given Mohun Bagan Supergiant a one-match suspension on that front. So therefore, I've had a word with a few people, and they all say, "Oh, why?" And I said, "The guys, if you like it or not, I be it in Europe or be it in an Indian football context, I don't think pyros are the things, and therefore for me, if you like it or not, the suspension per se, but it's in my opinion the right step that the AFF has taken. Thanks for canvassing, Arunava. Let's hope a 2 decades wait is worth it. Sir, Shaggy, let's see. Good evening. What happens tomorrow? Again, the wishes are from us all. I think that India can pull off something and surprise everyone. But I also know the realities of how things have been going in the last few days and weeks. So therefore, for me, so therefore that's that. And let's see, I'm trying to actually help with Macron, who I actually work with, to try and see what we can do for the AFF. Yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe in the coming days we can help out with something. आप हिंदी में बोला करो हमको और बेटर समझ में आएगा. अतर्फ, sadly, मेरा हिंदी इतना अच्छा नहीं है, so I prefer speaking English, and and there are people who join these conversations who don't speak Hindi at all, actually. So therefore, I would like to stay in the English language. I've done it a few times and few things in Bengali as well, but I would prefer staying in English, and that is why my preferred language of speaking, because yeah, that's for me the easier language to speak. Mumbai City FC versus Northeast United FC fans coming good that day. Yes, nearly 4,000 people in the stadium. That's one. I think the atmosphere that one can hear on the broadcast, I think, was very, very good. And Mumbai City opened up 3,500 seats for the first home game, got nearly 3,500, then increased it in the second game to now um, 4,000 and nearly got 4,000. So that's a good sign. And again, Mumbai 7 points from two matches, I think, is also a good thing. And therefore, that's good for us. Bangladesh play bravely. Only problem is physicality and high. Chinese girl use Fizzer to take back ball. Match looks like senior versus under to Bangladesh. So hats off to Bangladesh bravely play. Yes, 69p. Again, yes. But one thing which I've realized, and um, so what I'm seeing is that the big teams are getting the opportunities, but they're not scoring. So therefore, the results look very, very good so far. I mean, if you even think 22 chances, I think 10 of them were on goal from the Chinese, two goals. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. But that's thanks, Atha, for understanding. Thanks for the segment. No, Shaggy, I've not helped so far. I saw today that the AIFF is playing in Macron clothing, and that's why thereafter I reached out to the AIFF top brass, and I know people at Macron in Bologna, and I've reached out to them, I've sent them the stuff, and maybe they can help with things for the coming matches, not tomorrow. That was done by the people. Actually, someone who used to work with me in the past is there who's sorting it out for the AIFF. But but it is only, I think, sorted for the first match, and they'll have to do more. So let me see. I'm trying to help wherever I can, Indian football, as you know, but let's see. But should not have happened in the first. Shaggy, it shouldn't have happened. You know. I let's wait and see. Let's see what happens. And yeah. So therefore, let me see what can be done. Again, Shaggy, as you say, it shouldn't have happened. But again, it was sent by someone, a big Indian company who deals in sports brand clothing, and it's on them. But again, the AIFF is the AIFF, so it's a bad look. Today match, which match was postponed, Smith? There was no match. I don't know which match postponed. Real Madrid player Rodrigo tore his ACL today, will be out for the next season and FIFA Club World Cup. Okay, I haven't heard about Rodrigo's injury. Hearing this now, yeah, happens. Yeah, just reading. Yeah, 70 minutes ago, the news has come out. Rodrigo Stone. Yeah, again, not things going well for Real Madrid. IFL seems to be getting better fans during match day than ISL. I feel. See that, are they not? Again, that's the question. It's because the point is, uh, um, you know, so therefore that's the thing. To me, it is. Uh, I don't know, because we seem to talk about things, right? Is our social media chatter always the reality of what people are watching, looking? You know, I don't know. So therefore, it is the social media world is not the real world, right? So therefore, that is something that needs to be kept in mind, and therefore, it's very difficult to judge if it was or not. FC Goa versus East Bengal. No, FC Goa versus East Bengal is on the 5th. It's a match on Thursday. It's not today. Smith, where was this match set for today? It was never set for today. It was always set for Thursday. And so therefore for me, that date hasn't changed. I don't know why you think that the match was supposed to be played today. The only change that happened was Friday's match between Odisha FC versus Mohun Bagan was switched, and now it's Mohun Bagan versus Odisha FC. And there, of course, the big news from the AIFF today was that Mohun Bagan will have to play a closed, meaning no fans allowed to attend because of multiple pyro violations. Last season's final against BFC, of course, which hit certain people of BFC. Even I think Pat Jindal was hit at the time, and that happened again in the match against Kerala Blasters. So this is something which this seems the new disciplinary committee. East Bengal has also already been fined. So this is something which the Mohun Bagan were able to appeal. They did appeal. They didn't appeal the fine which they have received. They've received a fine of, let me look at what was the fine figure. What was it? I don't see the fine figure. Violation. Uh, 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 uh. I don't see that. So for me, I don't know the figure, but again, that's been put on them. So yeah, that's one of those realities. So do you think if next year IFL again telecast, you think that broadcasting quality would be better than previous? I'm happy with this quality. X9P, don't. I said this. Be it ISL, be it IFL, be it Indian football next season. Don't talk about next season. You know. Uh, 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 so at the moment, it's no point talking about things because at the moment, be happy with what you have, right? ISL and IFL, right? This is, I think the fans don't realize, as I've said a little earlier, that people in the background who are keeping the leagues running, the operational guys, are running this thing, um, yeah, at a cost, uh, just to keep it running. And the question is next season if that would happen or not. And I would, at this moment, think not. So therefore, the question is, how can that be kept alive? So therefore, that's the thing that it is, right? So therefore, for me, there's a lot of questions open, a lot of things that need to be answered. But at the moment, be happy with whatever you are having, and yeah, and not bother about those things. And again, Prasad Bharati at the moment, again, Doordarshan has resources available to them because they're a public broadcaster, right? They don't have to say, oh, you know what, I have to save 5 rupees here, I have to save 5 rupees there. They are spending. So therefore, for me, it's a good product at the moment. Let it be. Germany, what I think you're meaning temperature current you're having. It's at the moment, it's actually quite nice. It was sunny all day, 15, 16 degrees. Then run the Federation would be better in September election, new regime come would be better. Yeah, XMP, that's something that we've spoken about a lot. The main criticism I see for Abel is that he overpays players in negotiation is true or the Bundesliga is too high. Manvir, Bayern Munich is a top team. Again, inflation, you could say, but the question is if you're not going to pay XYZ figure, then the players will leave and go somewhere else. So therefore, for you, the question is, can I keep the player or does the player leave? Right. So therefore, that's the problem that Max Abel has. Hey, Blue, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, therefore, that's the thing, right? It's not easy for a manager of a team to try and figure out how much to pay, not to pay, why to pay a player, because if players are in demand, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep the player and yeah, retain the player. You know, so yeah, let's not get it. 19 plus minutes. Quick reminder: like, share, and subscribe. 10 likes so far of this watch along. Do, if you like it, put a, press the thumbs up, share it with other people to join in. And we have 3,868 people who are supporting the channel. And yeah, let's see. How can AFF mismanage something as basic and important like jersey and Asian competition? Blue, the problem is what I realized. Again, it is unacceptable, yes. On the other side, the AFF problem was that this would never been, um, if AFF had a kitting partner, because then the matter is a matter of the kitting partner. So the AFF has teams everywhere, um, and they didn't find one, right? So therefore, the AFF had to go around and yeah, and get something done. The whoever was chosen, a big Indian kitting company, they sent the stuff out and they sent the stuff out in wrong sizes. So then all this mess happened. As I've said, as they picked up Macron, I've actually called up Macron today and asked for their help for the remainder of the tournament. Let's see if the Italians oblige, because it's the interest of Indian football. So therefore, I thought let me make a call. Tony Kroos, the onset generation Real Madrid? No, Murali, not that I know of. Who's the best player from Northeast? It's amongst Apuya and Changte, I guess. Bayern favorites for UCL along with Arsenal. Come on, Bayern, conquer Europe like 2020. Yeah, but I guess those two teams, to me, are the best. Again, finished the best in the group stage, and now both the teams have to prove that they are amongst the best. And again, Arsenal have done very well, but I would still, with the experience and all those things, I would rate Bayern a little higher than Arsenal. But again, let's wait and see what these two teams can do in the UEFA Champions League. What is about Germany during the World Cup 2026? Yes, of course. Yeah, 100%. Manvir, Germany is, besides India, the team I support. I League 2 and I League 3 update. Bhiti said there is no I League 3 this season, from what I understand. There will be some sort of I League 2 later this month. I don't know if it's I League 2 or IFL 2 that will happen, but something or the other will happen, and therefore that will be played. So, therefore, that is something which is there. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Master to come back tonight versus Atleti, they said 4 goals is a little too much. It would need a first half masterclass from Barca to try and get back in that game. I find that very tough, very difficult, not impossible, let's put it this way. But it's on Barca to try and get goals, and I see that as very difficult. How do you see Jack Grealish as a player? How do you rate him as a winger compared to Vinicius Jr.? Murali, again, great. You guys love to have these comparisons with XYZ player. To me, Jack Grealish, stylish player, out of the box player, you know, and to me, I think he's not done enough of his talent. Great, great talented player. Uh, yeah, that's the thing. Have Japan produced any wonder kids like Jamal? Yeah, I would say Takefusa Kubo most probably would be the one, of course, who in his youth played for Barca and then for Real Madrid and now plays for Real Sociedad San Sebastian. That would be, I guess, the Japanese wonder kid that, yeah, sadly has not become a world star. Not having kid partners, problem, shouldn't they plan these things in advance? They're thinking what to do tomorrow and vision 24/7, nothing in between. Blue, yes, but I've now, because I've reached out to the AIFF to help myself, so I've been told what has happened. And the mistake of the AIFF was that they didn't have have a plan B, I guess, in the worst case, right? And that is something, that is the real mistake. I think I would have said, take a clean set of kids in blue and in orange of Performex with you. Keep that as a backup. Keep it with you when you travel from India, or from Turkey to Australia, or someone from India traveling to Australia. Keep that as a backup. And that would have been most probably the most wise thing to do. But again, that was not done. They ordered stuff in Jalandhar. That stuff was delivered on Monday, or Monday meaning yesterday. Then they realized, oh God, the sizes aren't working. And then last night, the whole thing blew up. And then they went to the market today before their photo shoot and organized stuff locally. And that was then the stuff for Macron. And as I just told you, I've reached out to the AFF and offered my help. And I've reached out to Macron now to try and see if Macron can help the AFF with stuff for this tournament at least. There is no deal or whatever to be done. But yeah. So therefore, for me, that is what the situation is. And it's the way it is. And again, in these kind of situations, XYZ will criticize stuff and do things, but I'm rather of the person of trying to say, listen, can I help you guys? Someone said in the afternoon to me, who knows me, said, hey, Dada, why are you helping us? I said, again, I'm not helping you, I'm helping the team. If I can help the Indian women's national team, if I can help the All India Football Federation, which I've done over the last 25, 26 years, I will always do that, independent of the people running the FF, because it is about, in football. Did Bodo glimpse punching above the? Of course, Bodo is punching above their gate, weight. Sorry, not gate. Above their gate and weight to reach that. So therefore, for me, brilliant to see them win against Man City, then beat Atletico Madrid, and then and 2 wins against Inter Milan, and they are not even in season, right? They are pre-season. That's incredible. Southampton club, where do you put their level when you compare German league? Morally, they're a second-tier club in the English Championship, second tier. Aquarium India women team in AFC. Morally, I don't have any expectations, to be very honest with you. My wish and hope is um, to that the team does the best it can, and it's not an easy assignment. Let's be very very clear. But to me, Murali, I would, you know, let them play, let them do their best, and if we can achieve something, I'd be very very happy with it. And therefore, yeah, that's the max that I'm expecting from them. I'm not even going into expecting anything big or exceptional. Uh, play the game, girls. Enjoy yourself, and if this team can get a result, would be very very happy. And uh, you know you know. So let's see. If Iran boycott the World Cup, then UAE will take their place. Hitesh, I don't know. I think FIFA has not discussed it. We are in a very fluid, volatile, uh, as it is. So therefore, all these questions, again, we don't know where we're heading at the moment politically. We are in March. The World Cup is in June. I don't know what will, you know. Can you read out the Monba latest tweet came 15 minutes ago and explain? Okay, Blue, let me check. We acknowledge the AIFF Disciplinary Committee decision on a review petition modifying the earlier full stadium closure to partial closure for a upcoming home fixture, Joy Mohun Bagan. So if I understand it right, um, okay, and this was against the Blasters. Again, the new disciplinary committee of the AIFF who's come in, they are, it looks like, very, very clear and adamant to say that pyros per se should not be used. That seems to be their stance at this moment in time, and for that Mohun Bagan has been punished, and that was because there was in the ISL final. Um, Mohun Bagan fans, of course, fired pyros at BFC fans, and even at a section where Park Jindal was positioned. And I think, if I'm not wrong, uh, 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 so therefore, and that was a full stadium ban, and that has now been reviewed, and then supposedly now it's a partial one. I don't know how many fans they will allow. Let's see. Gabas is almost done, sir. No more hope. Cheating management fans are alone. Pradeep, your second part of this cheating management fans are alone. You know what? I would actually ask the Blasters fans, whatever the management has done, the owners have done, are you actually supporting the club? Right? So, and again, I go back to, we are discussing this in an online world. Listen, the Blasters are a team in crisis, a club in crisis, financial this and that and everything. Shouldn't there be 30, 35,000 people coming to the stadium and supporting the Blasters rather than saying all stuff on social media and, oh, I'm doing a boycott, this and that and everything? Right? I think my understanding of fan culture on all these things, pyro, supporting your team, I think it's very, very German in that. And I think we need to grow up with the fan culture in India, right? It is in India, fans love to blame everybody, anybody, right? And not realize the realities of things, right? The Blasters management, uh, 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 um, you know, um, I understand you want to be successful. And the Blasters, again, to me, are one of the success stories of the Indian Super League. But you need to support your team even more in crisis than when you're successful. And you're not doing that, in my opinion, as a Blasters fan. And if Blasters get relegated, will they be there next season? I don't know. And it's not a question of the Blasters. I think a lot of teams at the moment, given the realities, let's see what happens. Even second tier English league is very tough. It's not easy as we think. Murali, I know that. I don't know if other people think it is easy, but the championship or the second Bundesliga or even La Liga 2, all of them are very, very tough leagues. Before Leverkusen had success run with Savinons, how big the club. Murali, they've been a big club in Germany a top Bundesliga team for, I don't know, yeah, for 25, 30 years. So therefore that's the thing. And um, yeah, that's the thing, that they've been there. I mean, 2002 they reached the Champions League. 2006 sorry. So they're a big team. Alexander Arnold or Kyle Walker? Alexander Arnold, I think Morali would be bigger. How do you see campus and will it have huge impact use hosting future events? Morali, I don't know what it will be. It is utter chaos at the moment everywhere. So let's wait and see. Any type of fire in stadiums, absolutely no, in my opinion. So it's good to be strict. Blue, 100%. And the problem is that the strictness is not implemented, right? We talk about strictness and we want strictness on one side, but then, you meddle down. And will the fans learn? No, they won't. Right? I've had this discussion with East Bengal fans during a Calcutta Football League match a while ago, right? Where I saw at the East Bengal ground, they lit up the stand opposite to the main stand at East Bengal in the Salt Lake State, in the Maidans. And, uh, uh, so therefore for me, um, yeah, there's no understanding to that. And again, the same problem I see here in Germany. I know friends of mine talk about pyros and this and that and everything. And I say to the guys, I said, guys, this is not something which should be understood. It's as you say, it's fire. You're playing around. It is uncontrolled. If it's in your hand, you can't say it's in control. Anything can happen to it. Uh, um, so that's the thing. Enric of Brazil, current form. How do you see? How big team are they? Brazil are not a big team, and Hendrik is a talented player. He's doing well at Lyon. Let's see what he does. Also, the latest tweet, partial crowd is allowed. Yes, Ogni, we just spoke about it. Blue spoke about it as well. And to me, I'll be very, very honest. If Mohun Bagan fans like it or not, wrong decision by the AIFF to allow this. And this is something which needs to be dealt with, whoever it is. It doesn't matter which club it is, anywhere in the world. FC Remscheid faces the problem as well. They get fined when they use pyros here in Germany, the lower division, which hurts the club. Again, that needs to be understood. You often mention India doesn't have infrastructure problem, but when AFC rejects stadium for quality, Murali, yeah, you're picking a stadium which doesn't have AFC quality. Still have enough, right? Why are you picking Ranchi? That Ranchi stadium has not been used for top level football ever. You know, and that's the sad part, right? You're using a stadium which is not intended to host something like that because yeah, the infrastructure hasn't been built. Are you going to develop the infrastructure in that stadium to make it better? That is the question at the end of the day, and the simple answer is no. Qatar or Russia World Cup is your favorite among the two. Onali, again, I didn't go to any of the two, but if you ask me, I would say Qatar. They will do these things and complain about price of cheap tickets. Blue, that's the problem, right? We are in this world of jugaad, right? We are in this world of jugaad, and to me, this whole thing makes no sense. Whatever we're doing, everyone is trying to get away with things by not doing what is right, right? And again, the blame always falls on the AFF. The AFF does a lot of things wrong, but again, it falls also on the clubs. It is also the duty of the fans. It is every stakeholder in Indian football does not want to follow rules. This is India summed up to me. If I follow rules, I'm an idiot. Honestly. Why? Right? So my problem is, as someone in these kind of things, is if I or you we want to follow rules, why should I follow rules? Right? And to me it's crazy to think. Is used Wednesday of Tajis is good, sir. Official video from Bhutan, India, Tajis Gold Jubilee Stadium. X9P, I don't know, yeah. It is something which I don't know, honestly. Tajikistan, most probably decent physical, let's see. One thing you wish Indian football understand over the years, they never understand. Murali, follow the rules. follow the regulations, and not what I just said, not try and do shortcuts. Indian football, India is suffering because of all these shortcuts that people want to do, which is not helping football as a sport, or the game as such. And it is hurting us in the long run. It is hurting us in the long run, and we don't want to understand that these shortcuts are not taking us anywhere, right? So therefore, that's a reality. And it is yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. And it's not taking us, it will not take us anywhere, right? I have sending ill-fitting kids. Ochut, from what I understand, it was not sent by the AIFF. I've actually, after seeing, and I've said this now a few times, after seeing that they have bought, sourced locally in Perth stuff from Macron, who I know well, good brand from Italy. I've actually reached out to Macron myself. I've actually reached out also to the Deputy Secretary of the AIFF and offered my help, and to see if Macron can help them out. And I've reached out to Macron. Let's see, for the second match, maybe they can help them out with some more stuff. But it's embarrassing. But it was sourced from someone, a big Indian manufacturer, and one of the biggest, and they send out the stuff. So the question is, did the AFF have wrong sizes? Was a wrong Excel sheet shared with them, or was that a mistake? Let's see. If any players go to world class, I think system problem, grassroots ecosystem, this problem nullified. Yeah, yeah. Only if a kid is really good, and this is what I say to players, if you are really, really good, if you are top notch, top class, nobody will be able to stop you, right? If you're really good. And uh, so therefore, for me, it's the way it is, right? I will not be able to change things in the way that I would like it to. But yeah, if you're too good, the system will not be able to block you. And someone said today something to me, that the Indian women's team is playing the AFC Asian Cup, um, despite of the system. And I totally agree on that fact, right? So let's see. I watched North Korea versus Uzbek game. DPRK played like they were in a hurry, far superior, but Uzbek did well in the second half. Ochut, I think what we've seen so far, the little that I've seen in the summaries as well, is that the bigger teams are not clinical in their goal scoring, and therefore the smaller teams have gotten away with these 2-0s and 3-0s. So that's the only advantage. That there were partial stadium ban for Mohun Bagan. But yes, Ochut, it was supposed to be a full one, and now Mohun Bagan has come out with a social media statement, and I read that out. It's 27 minutes ago. They tweeted, "We acknowledge the AFF Disciplinary Committee decision on our review petition modifying the earlier full stadium closure to a partial closure for upcoming home fixture," and they say Joy Mohun Bagan, so therefore not a full closure. Any identified individual, any person holding you for development purpose in your football. There are people in the system who know better, right? And there are good people. They're not all the people are this, that, everything. So therefore, for me, yeah, there are. And I've spoke to, yeah, let's see. K. Shankar and Sufrat, Indian referees in World Cup final round and match commissioner, respectively, are stuck in Dubai. They're stuck for war situation. Blue, there are a lot of people who are stuck in the Middle East, be it in Dubai, be it in Abu Dhabi, be it in Doha, be it, I don't know, wherever, Kuwait, in Iraq, potentially, in Saudi now. Yeah, again, so therefore, each individual case might be worrisome, but again, they're most probably, if you don't wander around and the building you're in is not hit by shrapnels, nothing's going to happen to you. But what about scouts? If they don't give chance, they cannot display their quality. Morally, the scouts don't give chances. The scouts are there to spot. So Haaland more physical type compared to Kylian Mbappe? Yes, of course, Morali, much more physical. Being honest, Indian stop use world class player. We can't produce Asian class player. Yeah, that's the start of our conversation, right? We need to be Asian class before we want world class, right? By still involved with any AIFF committees? Shaggy, he is, but is he active? I think as a minister, so therefore for me, um, he's part of the league committee, he's part of the exco, and yeah, let's wait and see. What is Mohun Bagan issue? Explain. Nikhil, very simply, Mohun Bagan fans have used pyrotechnics in the stadium multiple times. The worst infringement was the ISL final last season against Bangalore FC, where they fired pyros at the BFC fans. And if I'm not wrong, even Pat Jindal, who was in the stands with the BFC fans, was hit. And they were put on a warning saying that next time you do this, you would potentially be suspended. Mohun Bagan Supergiant have done this. Uh, um, so therefore, the new disciplinary committee of the AIFF looked at the matter and then said, you know what, because are now a repeated offender, you are facing a certain financial fine, um, and you have to play one match behind closed doors. And that was supposedly the match against Odisha FC. And that was the decision. But now, Mohun Bagan Supergiant have come out with a social media statement about half an hour ago stating that a partial closure of the Salt Lake Stadium is going to be the punishment. And I clearly state it doesn't matter who it is, these kind of punishments need to be pulled through, and you need to put them on teams, because I think it is very, very important that the club, the management, then also the fans understand that this is not acceptable. Because I know that, especially in Kolkata, football circles, new age fans who call themselves also ultras, like in Europe, that this whole ultra culture has its negative aspects. In my opinion, again, pyros is one thing which I don't think is right to be in a stadium, and that is being copied, and therefore I think the punishment was right, but now it's pulled back. Oh my God. Uh, what will happen tomorrow? Chances are low, but high hopes. Prasanjit, again, I am not expecting anything tomorrow. I have hopes and wishes, but I also know the reality. I'm too old for living in dream world. I would love our women tomorrow to cause an upset, win, and then to really open that door towards the World Cup. But I also know the other realities. So let's wait and see what happens. Ritupono Chakma is pretty good. I've seen previous games better than many of our women. Almost scored a super long range. Yeah, Ritupono Chakma as well. Ochud, but again, the Chinese, that domination, that control, the chances, and still only 2-0. That's a very good result for Bangladesh. Maybe we aren't even producing players of Sunil level, aka Indian class. Bro, tell that to people. People talk about world class, people talk about this, about that, and we produce this, that, everything, and we're producing none of it, right? That's the reality of Indian football in the year 2025, 26. And we're talking about producing world class, and we can't even, as you say, forget producing Sunil's Baichungs. Where is the player of the technical ability of an IM Vijan? We don't have that, right? So um, these are not right. And to me, yeah, people are selling fake dreams to younger people across the board, telling them, oh, you can reach this level, you can reach that level, oh, you can do this, you can do that. And again, is that realistic? Is that not realistic? Um, to me, all of that is not realistic. So therefore, these are all realities of our football in India. But are we willing to do what is needed? Are we willing to push what is needed? So therefore, for me, um, therefore for me, it is very, very clear, very, very evident that a lot of things need to happen which haven't happened. Will they happen? I don't know. But we are talking about creating something which we don't have. So therefore, for me, that's a challenge, and let's see where we go. Nigeria doesn't have Qatar system like Aspire system. Still, they more compared to the people who blame ecosystem. Morally, yeah, it's not about the ecosystem. It is also about the individuals. Are the players willing to do work themselves through the system despite the problems? All of that is interlinked. In your 17 beat Myanmar, you 17-1. Wow, Hitesh, good result. Looks like they again gave them partial ban. Sad thing where AIFF again, this is not acceptable. Yeah, Shaggy, 100%. I would have said it doesn't matter who it is. It any of the clubs, right? It can be Mohun Bagan, it can be East Bengal, it can be BFC, it can be Blasters, or even the other teams in the league. If you do this inside of a stadium, then you have to live with the consequences, right? And yeah, that's the reality. And to me, but that's not being done, and that's the sad part of Indian football, I would say. Coach Amelia carrying 10 defenders to this tournament, I believe we will be defensive or counter-attacking. Shaggy, we will be defensive and counter-attacking, and the question is how can we clear, how can we avoid constant pressure on our defense? That Vietnam game will be a very interesting test for us. Can we avoid a situation where we are under pressure throughout the 90 minutes? It's good to see Sweetie Devi in there, who was out for a certain period of time, but now is back. I would have liked someone experienced like a Bala Devi up front to be at least as a sub option on the bench, because she can bring a little bit of physicality, but a lot of experience. I think we lack a lot of experience in this team. Two players only 30 and the rest younger. So those are some of the things that I see in this team. I wish and hope that we can do something against Vietnam. But again, let's see where we stand. Respected sir, Kalancha, I really want to destroy. I'm not asking in sarcastic way. Lachit, if you're not asking in a sarcastic way, if you want an honest answer, I do not know. Right? You're asking I do not know if he wants to destroy, if he doesn't know better. These are some of the things that are there, and sadly, yeah, the things are the way they are. Again, I can't change it, you can't change it, we can't change it. These are the realities. And yeah, Kalyan has done a lot of things which have not been positive for Indian football over the last, yeah, 3.5 years since he's been around. If we if we play counter attack, we are doomed. We have been following our national teams and with IWL. We have to play 4-4-2 or something conventional. Uchut, yes. And the question is, where are your outlets? Your outlets are Manisha, and and um, I don't know if Pyari, for example, will be playing up front. Height is also an issue for our team, which is very weird that someone put out the average height yesterday at 1.65 meters, which is very, very short. We're talking about 5'5". Um, so yeah. So therefore, I don't know. I'm interested to see what we're going to do if we're going to play a 4-4-2. Are we going to play a 4-2-3-1? Are we going to play maybe a 4-5-1? Um, there's a lot of possibilities on that front to see what kind of formation we have. We have banned water bottles in Kantirava after Khalid Jimmy incident. And Shaggy, that's right. Again, in Kolkata, a lot of people complain about the so-called pouches. But again, anything which could be used as a weapon, could be thrown onto the field. We saw what happened against Messi, for example, right? And the violence. And so therefore, sorry, it is the way it is, and it needs to be handled in a certain way, and it's yeah, very difficult. Who can change all AFF committee? Aman, the AFF committees are appointments of um, individuals who are experts or judges, justices, worked in the Supreme Court or the High Courts, and that is independent appointments. So that's how it is. If so, Senora Amelia wants to hand out debuts, it has to be tomorrow. Rest of the match, I'm pretty scared. Ochut, tomorrow is not a match for debuts. To me, tomorrow, I need to figure out a settled team experience. This is a pressure match, which I think a lot of these girls will never have played at this level, right? So therefore, for me, it's not an easy one. Um, it's a tough one. I feel it's a tough one tomorrow. And tomorrow will decide where our journey goes. Are we looking a little upward? Are we looking rather downward? That is I think tomorrow will tell us where our journey would be heading in the coming days, in the next 7 days. How are we going to play on Saturday against Japan? How we're going to play against Chinese Taipei. So therefore tomorrow is going to be very, very important in my opinion. Right, 50 plus minutes. Quick reminder, like, share, and subscribe Arun Foot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias, visit arunfoot.com. And thank you as always for your support. 14 likes on this video so far. And share it, as I say, with others. And we stand at 3,871 subscribers. Thank you very much. And I've linked here at the top, pinned it at the top, my latest column, not latest column, my latest discussion with Hiren on ISL match day or game week 3. We've collaborated once more on that, where we speak about all these things regarding ISL. And thank you, Hiren and I are trying to do that summary every week for the ISL. Tomorrow prediction. Oh, Blue, that's I would like to. I would like us to win. Um, you know, um, that's that's the that's the heart, right? My brain says we'll lose, right? I would love us to win. I don't know, 1-0, 2-1, doesn't matter. Sensational win, it doesn't matter. But my head is saying most probably a 0-2 for Vietnam. So it depends how we get into the game. I hope we don't concede early. How tight we are at the back in the defensive midfield. So a lot depends on if uh, Sweetie and Shilki are at the back, Shangita Bashfor in defensive midfield. So let's wait and see. News is intense. News intensity during games was increased by coach. Decision making key focus. Yeah, intensity. Shaggy, intensity is whatever we've played so far. Tomorrow will be different intensity. And you say decision making, yes, and concentration also for 90 minutes, right? So a lot of things to look at. I told you, I told in one of our lives, our women's national lacks international level physique, short, frail. Even if you are skillful, you won't be able to hold on to the ball. Forget about running with it. Yeah, Uchit, that's you know that's for example when I see Rimpu Haldar, when I see her in the IWL, and then you see her in international football, prime example, right? Um, too short and too lightweight. Went from being curious about the jersey situation to now feeling embarrassed. Only happens to us. Simon, yeah, it is. And after seeing the AIFF had locally sourced Macron kits, and I know the guys of Macron here in Germany and in Italy, and actually, funnily, Arun Foot is set to be kitted by Macron very, very soon. These things are ready, so I'll actually put that out very soon. I've reached out to the guys in Italy and said if you could help out in the AFF, let's see, in Bologna, if they could help out our women's team at least for this tournament. Let's see if they can, in Australia, source the things that are needed in Perth and in Sydney. So let's see what can be done. But yeah, you're right, and at least I raised some concerns about it, unknowingly exposed the situation like this. It is, Simon, it is. But the point is what I understand after talking to the AFF top brass myself about this matter, and again offering to help. Again, if I can help, that will be seen. But at least I offered to help. Um, um, the situation was very simple. Whoever has sent the stuff over from Jalandhar over to Perth, wrong sizes. The question is who sent it out. I would have said, my backup plan should have been worst case. I have at least 2 kits of the blue and 2 kits of the orange of Performax in my bag without any numbers or other branding, and I would have branded it there locally. That would have been my approach to the thing. But again, it seems like there was no plan B, and the plan B now has become, oh, listen, let's see what we can get here locally and figure out how to survive. And that's where the AFF stands at this moment. It's sad, but that's the reality. No kitting partner of the All India Football Federation. I mean, I'm wearing here an old 656. Let me just get up right. Sorry, here 656. Which also came around at the last second. I mean, I remember there was a AFC Asian Cup 2019 press conference in Delhi. This was launched, and 656 had to really work hard to get the kits ready for the tournament. So this is something, so let's see. 6 a.m. my time, I'll be watching our women fight it out tomorrow. Yes, Ochut, let's all try and support our women's team. As I've said, I will be doing a live watch along tomorrow for this game. So looking forward to watching it and sharing it with you. And let's hope that our girls can, so let's see. Yeah. All our girls should undergo strength training as a regular process. They are doing strength training, but again, strength training is one thing, but you're not going to be able to grow, right? So, strength training is a nice thing to do, an important thing to do. Let's be very clear from my side, but I will not be able to, players who are 5'5", 5'6", 5'7" will not suddenly be 5'9", 5'10", or 6 foot, right? So that those are some of the realities. Regardless, the girls have my full support. All the best versus Vietnam. Yeah, Simon, 100%. I will second that what you're saying. So therefore, for me, as you say, from my side, from your side, from all us, I guess, we all will support it. Did a small little short support video on Instagram for the girls. So yes, I will surely be supporting them tomorrow, and hoping and wishing that we are going to support this. And yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what we can do. So therefore, that is something which is there, and let's see what happens. But to me, it is the way it is. It is sadly something which I knew we cannot change. But you know, it's let's see if the team can do something. Our women have training kits, right? Yes, saw them wearing those for the last 2 weeks in Perth. That is the worst case scenario. Print the numbers and logo. Ocho, they've bought jerseys from Macron, from an Italian brand. I mean, I can just showcase one of the kits. 1 second. Looks actually quite stylish, I have to say. And so therefore, it is something which the AIFF did. Um, So therefore, that is something which the AIFF has done. 1 second, let me figure out. I have to add the image to this. 1 second, I'll share the image. And that's something. So this is how the jersey looks. This is the jersey from Macron for tomorrow of India. Simple, but again, nice color, I would say. So this is what India will wear tomorrow in the match. So that's the thing. Why can't we just wear Performance jersey, although the sponsor's over, but still at least we won't get embarrassed? So Simon, because they didn't take Performance jerseys to the tournament. They wore Performance in the last two friendlies. If you see India, while the others, the India under 17 boys and girls have been wearing neutral kits, if you see them. But if you see the India women, 1 second, if you see our women's, Perth Azuri, for example, right, on the 23rd of Feb, India was wearing Performance jerseys in that friendly. But there are certain tournament requirements from the AFC, new kit and this and that and everything. So, that's why I said, worst case, they should have had two sets, each of the blue and the orange with them. Uh, you know, um, so therefore, yeah. So therefore, that's the thing. So they didn't do that. Need to set aside the difference to appreciate Bangladesh 2-0 against China and nearly scored a banger. Yeah, Simon, they did. So therefore, from that side, Bangladesh did very, very well for themselves. And 2-0 only for China. And generally, this tournament has been rather a low-scoring competition so far. So therefore, for me, yeah, that's the thing. Same happens with a 9-year-old son. He has decent skills but lacks the physique when compared to his US peers. But he's a hard tackler, which others fear. Ochut is good, but again, you're based in the US, so protein intake for the young boy a little more, and that should be good for him. Bangladesh played historic match in China with eye to eye. Ashraf, yes, it is history. Great overall performance from Bangladesh, and historic result also for Bangladesh in that match, only losing 2-0 to China. But eye to eye, again, I know all everyone gets carried away. But again, China were still the dominant force. If you look at the match stats, clearly China could have, should have scored potentially more. They didn't. So therefore, Bangladesh got it. And this is the story of all the big teams in this competition so far, that they were not able to score the you know number of goals that chances for. So yeah, so therefore, from that perspective, a very, very close tournament. Australia only winning 1-0 against the Philippines, South Korea winning yesterday 3-0 against Iran, and earlier today, North Korea only 3-0 against Uzbekistan, and then later on China a 2-0 against Bangladesh, and 2 goals within 2 minutes. So the Chinese actually sorted what they need to do. And I was looking at the stats, for example, for the North Korea game. One second, right? 1 second. Where was this? Yeah. If you look at it, North Korea against Uzbekistan was 28-1, right? But only 6 on target. You know, and if I look, China against Bangladesh, it was in the end 24-8, and 11 were on target. Only 2, again, Bangladesh one nearly got a goal, but Ritu Chakma, but 24. So therefore, finishing luckily in this tournament, and we could go on. Let me get the stats from the South Korean Australian match as well. In all the matches, so therefore, yeah, that's the reality. If I look at the South Korea Iran game, also 33-3, right? So they could score only 11 on target, 3 out of 33. So 1/11th was the scoring, and that to me sums it up at the moment. Luckily for the smaller teams in this tournament, Australia also 15-1 against Philippines, scored 1 goal, 6 on target. That shows you where this tournament so far has been lacking, and that is the quality in goals. Washington Singh and Gundleba scored for India. Seems to be talented. Yeah, Hitesh, Gundeba, Danny Mitai, there's some talent in that. Good Simran, Vietnam, is there a level of Thailand? Taiwan is going to be tough test though. Simon, Vietnam is, I would rate higher than Thailand, if you ask me. Better quality than Thailand. Chinese Taipei, I think, is the weakest of our opponents, but all of them are above us. And yeah, if I look at their team, of course, all of them play locally in the Vietnamese Women's League, but the one of their player do have experience of having played abroad, and so the best player, of course, Jung New, has played in Portugal, and very interesting to see if and how they put overall pressure on us. And yeah, again, as I say, it will be a very interesting tournament for us to see how we can cope with them. Small, short, nippy side, quality in its sense, and the only player of origin, Nguyen Gong Nam Mi, who's a midfielder who's 5'11", 1 meter. Uh, uh, um, you know, um, so from that perspective, yeah, that's something that we'll have to wait and see. So they have potential. They're fast. They play on their wings, and that will be a test for India. But very sparse crowd in the DPRK and Bangladesh games. Had it been a Bangladesh cricket match, stadium would have been filled up. Uchut, it's women's football at the end of the day in Australia. So therefore, also, I don't know how many people are there to attend, happening daytime. Also, that's the thing. This Bangladesh woman is lowest age group, 19 years. I think the AIFF should invest for players' growth and technical growth, says Ashraf. Yeah, they will. They're trying, no? FIFA banned USA as well teams. Why FIFA can't do this? Nikhil, FIFA didn't ban Russia. FIFA only did what the International Olympic Association did. And why ban Israel, USA? If you're going to start banning then these teams, then where do you stop? Where do you stop then banning? When did Myanmar spawn in with a good U17 team? Interesting. Simon, this seems to be a good batch. So this seems to be a very good batch, and and therefore for me, very interesting to see that they have brought a team through the system, and yeah, let's wait and see what happens, what we can do, and beating Myanmar, I think, is a good thing. But again, these are still friendly matches. I always say, do not forget, these are friendlies, and we then need to perform when the tournament proper comes around the corner, and that will be in May, and that group is tough enough. So, but again, Viviano and the boys getting exposure, that's good. Vietnam played in the last Women's World Cup, isn't it? The goalkeeper made some glaring mistakes, if I recall. Did they play the? Was it Vietnam or was it someone else? Hold on a second. Was it Vietnam? One second. I'm just can't remember. Vietnam was part of it. Yes, Vietnam. Sorry, Vietnam played in it. Yeah, and they got badly beaten. No? Yeah, they lost 3-0, only lost 3-0 to the US, lost 2-0 to Portugal, and then lost 7-0 to the Netherlands. The Netherlands took the top spot. Yeah, I remember. I remember. Yeah, yeah. So, um, yeah. So therefore, that's something um, that is there. So they have experience on their side as well. Why do you see? Who do you see as a starting centre backs? It sounded today from the press conference that mostly Sweetie and Shilke will start, but you know. Sir, you watch ICC World Cup? No. Nikhil, I don't watch cricket. I don't know anything about cricket per se. So why should I watch it? Tomorrow, India has a big chance to win or draw against Vietnam. If India draw or win that match, India should go to World Cup. Best of luck in your team. Thanks, Ashraf. I don't know if they've got a good chance. Again, sorry, let me just put on the lights and get something to drink. To me, this whole we can win, we can beat sounds nice. I'll be very honest, and I'm hoping that we do win. But to me, it's not something that I expect from the Indian women's team. I let them play. Let's see. The first match is also sometimes an advantage because teams aren't settled. Um, and if we can get a result, a win or a draw, I'll take it. But to me, the big question is where do we stand with all also the issues around the team that seems to have been there? Let's see how we handle that. So therefore, for me, that's a question to be answered, and I don't have an answer to it, so to say. Um, And therefore, for me, yeah, let's see what our team tomorrow can do. As I said, I wish all the best to the Indian women's team. I want us to succeed, but I don't know if we're going to be able to succeed. That's always a question within the game, and yeah, it's a challenge. And yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. The awareness is just about getting there, but will that comes that unnecessary hype? Karma, karma. Yeah, Simon, that's the other problem. The unnecessary hype is fine. Yeah, I'm fine with the hype, but the problem is with the hype is that afterwards, when you don't succeed, the disappointment is more. So I have for myself, and I jokingly said for my own mental health, I don't hype things too much. I want to stay in that reality zone and want to be happy and see that we are successful to a certain level, to a certain extent, and then we will yeah we'll understand where we are, um and at the moment I would say it's a tricky one, because I honestly don't know where we really stand with our women's national team under Amelia Valverde, who's worked now with the team, and but to me is are we really there where we want our Indian team to be? I don't know. I honestly don't know where the team stands, right? And this is a big test. We lack experience, and that is something which I hope we can catch up with. And I just thought, one second, let me look at the 2022. Looking at the India squad of that tournament. looking at the India squad. 1 second. Where was this? Under Thomas Deneby. So I'm missing Aditi. Mm, I am, of course, Kamla Devi is no longer there. Uh, I am Dalimar is of course no longer there. Um, Indumati is no longer there. Anjuta Mang, of course, is injured. So those are some of the things that I see. That experience factor is in my opinion missing. Like Ashalata is no longer there. Again, question. You know, so a lot of experience that we had in the 2022 squad, which I would have regarded as stronger. I might be wrong, but I still regard that squad stronger than the current one. Um, yeah, where do we stand at the moment? So therefore, that's something. Let's see. So let's see. Um, 1 hour 11 minutes plus. Quick reminder: like, share, and subscribe Iron Foot here on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. Visit arunfoot.com as well, and also subscribe, like there as well. 18 likes on this video so far. Again, share with other people, and we stand at 3,872 at the moment as we slowly close in on the 4,000 mark. So please do support the channel, and thank you as always for that. And yeah, AFC Champions League quarterfinal matchup postponed are a tough condition. Yeah, Nikhil, I mean, that was clear given the realities of what's happening. That that these realities will lead to it, and yeah, it is clear that you will not be able to play the West Zone. If I look at the Champions League elite at this moment in time, the East Zone matches have gone ahead, right? Today, in which Galwan FC from China drew Machida Zelvia 0-0, and Melbourne City FC Buriram United played a 1-1. So that's the one. And then we've got tomorrow FC Seoul against Vissel Kobe, and JDT from Indonesia versus San Francisco Hiroshima. And on the other side, the West Zone games are not happening. So that's the reality of things of Asia, given the realities of what is happening or not politically. So therefore, again, you and I, we even the AFC is not in a position to change anything of this, because those are some of the realities that that in politics you will not be able to change, and that's sad as it is, but and therefore that's something yeah that's where we are at this moment in time, sadly, in Indian football. Why is Bengal football mostly centered in Kolkata and nearby areas? I often wonder why the IFA doesn't take stronger steps to promote football districts located 100, 200 kilometers away from Kolkata. Kalyan, very good question. And this is not a question of today, right? This has been something that the Indian Football Association, since the 1890s when it was founded, has always actually focused on Kolkata, to some extent on Howrah and the Chubbish Parganas, in the sense of North and South 24 Parganas, in the sense. Forget the 100, 200 kilometers. Why is there never been a real focus on North Bengal, be it the Siliguri area or Darjeeling or Alipurduar and all those areas? So therefore, for me, I think for them, IFA, maybe logistics has been always a topic, that it was always easier to micromanage football in and around Kolkata rather than across the state, because the state is quite big. Again, I'm trying to apply my logic to this matter, and it has not been done in a way where I would say, that they were able to support football across the state, and that is, in my opinion, has been a weakness for the IFA over all these years, right? That they've not supported Bengal football across the state. Odisha and Interkashi, impressive performance. Kerala FC, Chennai FC, not good. Yeah, Nikhil, if you want to talk about that, I would say that I would also add a team that certain people looked in the bottom half, and that is my former club, Mumbai City FC, have also done actually quite well to be in the top four for the moment. And yeah, and it, again, Odisha, I would have thought would be in a relegation. I'll be honest. I thought Odisha would be in a relegation fight. Um, and with Mohammedan and Sporting, but they've done really well for themselves. And on the other side, Interkashi, I thought would do well, right? Because if I look at the foreigners that they brought in, the squad that they have, Interkashi didn't look to me like a team which would be fighting relegation in the Indian Super League, and they're not doing that. So that's, I think, positive to say. And add on top of it, you speak about Kerala Blasters and Chennai. Chennai FC is a disappointment because I thought with the experience they have, they seem to have picked up against Odisha FC. They were better in that game, in that third game. Let's see. Biggest disappointment, yes, the Blasters. Um, they gambled on unknown foreigners. They gambled on players who have had potential but have really never reached that level. Kevin Yoke, Marlon Gustujillo, to name two of them. I mean, Marlon Gustujillo, former Germany youth player, under 19 Bundesliga champion, and all those things, youth international. And then Kevin Yoke comes out the Paris Saint Germain academy. Um, the Blasters will struggle. And of course, bottom of the table, Mohammed and Sporting, doesn't surprise, I think, anyone. I think, uh, so therefore, for me, is, yeah. I mean, if we said after, at match day three, Mohun Bagan top, Mohammed Sporting bottom, I think nobody would be surprised. But in between what has happened in the league table, there are a lot of surprises. I think nobody would have thought that Jamshedpur FC would be, 3 wins out of three and would be second. So that's also a thing. What is the pay that AIFF asking for ISL teams? Participation fee, Aman. 1 crore participation fees per club to cover the cost, so to say, of the whole running of the league. Next ISL tender. Nikhil, there's a tender out for ISL, for IWL, Federation Cup as well. But again, we're talking about now. I don't know if anyone will show a serious interest in that, given the realities of things at the moment. So, yeah, not sure. Uh, yeah. So therefore, for me, let's wait and see what happens. To me, um, it's an interesting one, but at the moment, I think looking at ISL, IWL, ISL and IFL, I think at the moment the question is get through the season. I think that's the challenge. Get through the season, get yourself till the end of the tournament, and then we can see um, what happens. We are at the beginning of March. At the moment, things look good to me, but I don't know how things will look in the next few weeks. And yeah, yeah, it's a lot of things in and around Indian football which make it complex and tough. But I hope that that we can get through this, right? So therefore, very important phase for Indian football, for the ISL, um, for the IFL or XI League, for the AIFF, yeah, the women's as well. Um, we've got a very interesting 3 months coming up from now till the end of the season on 31st of May, deciding of where the journey goes with the AIFF. So therefore, for me, yeah, that's something that I see. Right. Try to answer all your questions, all your queries. As always, that's why I need your support. Watch the short videos, like them, hype them. Um, watch the watch alongs as well, which I've created over time. And yeah, and I need your support. Thank you for all those views over the last few days, for a lot of the lives. And yeah, will need your support to further grow the community here on Arun Foot. As always, as I say, that's a challenge in itself, but I need your support on that. And thanks as always for that as well, for your support that I get here, not in here, but also on my other socials as well. So that's the thing, very, very important. And thanks for that. Yes, Indian men's team AFC competition. Nikhil, the under 70s are playing in May, the AFC under 17 Asian Cup. Let's see how they do. The under 20s, the under 23s, the senior men's national team have all not qualified. The men's play their final AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifier at the end of the month against Hong Kong. So that's the final one. We will not qualify for the tournament, and that means we will miss next year the competition in Saudi. Um, and so therefore, for me, um, yeah, it will be interesting to see where we end up. But that's the situation as it stands at the moment. Next live gives the link we discuss. Nikhil, you will find it on the channel. You will find it on my socials. I will put it out, and you will get to see it. Your opinion: is it good to ask participation fees for this season because most of the clubs are financially poor? Aman, it's a very valid question you're asking. It's a big question you're asking, and is there a simple answer to that? Is it a yes or is it a no? And if you ask me, there are two sides to the story in regard to asking for a participation fee. On one side, I feel it shouldn't be asked. On the other side, I feel I understand that the AIFF needs the money, right? The AIFF isn't in a vacuum, isn't in a bubble. The AIFF is spending money, and there is no commercial partner, so they don't have the money to run the system. So therefore, the clubs are financially bleeding. The AIFF is also bleeding because of the situation, right? If I'm working in a club, I would say, why am I paying this? If I'm the AIFF, I say, listen, I need that money to try and keep the system running. So therefore, there are two sides clashing on that matter, and it's there is no yes or no answer to that, in my opinion. It's, as I say, it's a complicated scenario for the All India Football Federation. And yeah, therefore, for me, it's very difficult, very difficult um, scenario at the moment. As I say, given the realities where we stand at this moment in time, and let's wait and see where it goes. But for the clubs, the one crore participation fee is a must. The clubs have to also adhere to other things to be part of next season's Indian Super League, and that will be very interesting to see. I'm very interested to see if Mohammedan Sporting is actually going to be able to pay that 1 crore. Are they actually paying their players? What is with their fines, this and that, everything, and also the other teams, right? Because I see 5 to 8 teams potentially in the summer saying, thank you very much. We tried a bit, but we are no longer going to be part of the ISL or even the top tier of Indian football, whatever that will be. Some of them might shut shop completely. Others might say, listen, you know what, for the moment, we will keep our youth system and maybe our reserve team becoming the first team playing lower level local league football. So those are some of the realities that might happen. So therefore, we'll have to wait and see. So if you ask me, no clear-cut answer from my side, Aman, on that. Is it right? Is it wrong? Yeah, this is where we stand at the moment with that, and that's a harsh reality, but that's the reality of our Indian football in the year 2026, right? Okay. 12 of you are still watching. Any more questions? Any more queries? As said, we spoke about tomorrow, Indian women's to play their first match in the AFC Women's Asian Cup against Vietnam. It's a 4:30 p.m. kickoff in India. It will be streamed live on fan code around the world. Check the AFC Asian Cup YouTube page, which will be showing it on that, at least here in Germany. I will be watching it. We've heard in America, in Europe and North America, it will be there. Watch it there. And I'll be doing a watch along tomorrow. So join us. And hoping, and yeah, let's wait and see where we go with this. No? This is the big one, so to say. This is the big one which is coming up, and we all are wishing for the best. Simon is saying gute Nacht, good night, anxious yet excited. Simon, yeah, I agree. I'm a little bit anxious about where this whole is going, and every time I say, you know what, I'm not going to get carried away by things and be hoping for the best, and then yeah, I do again get disappointed. I said that with the men's game. My best example was last year against Bangladesh in Dhaka. Didn't have much expectation, but I took my time off in London, sat down, did my live, did this, that, and then we lose. And then I thought, why? And then why did I do it? And yeah, disappointed from that front. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens. It is crazy to think, but those are the realities of things. Aman says, I don't understand why this team Churchwell needs to come in ISL and how they can survive financially. Aman, how they financially survive is a good question. I don't know. Why they need to come in, there is also no answer, but they're trying all to use all potential routes, or they have already tried all potential routes in the back end to try and get into the ISL. They've tried the political route. Sorry, they've tried the AIFF route, tried the clubs route. Now they're trying the political route. They're still trying from what I have been told, right? So I've been told that they are still trying. They have still not given up to play Indian Super League, which, as I say, is crazy to think, but that's the reality of where we stand. And yeah, and then at the moment, I mean, the ISL has finished 3 rounds, and we're still talking about it. You know, and it would be insane for the AIFF to try and put them into the league again. But I am I've given up to come up with logic on certain decisions of the All India Football Federation, so maybe there is still a chance for Churchill Brothers to sneak in. The AC Nations League is a planned international football competition on the Asian Football Confederation for senior men's national teams in Asia. Nikhil, you're saying it planned. It is not sanctioned still. It is in the planning stages. It's an idea that has been put forward by the AFC in reorganizing men's competitions in Asia. And as part of that reorganization, they're thinking about creating the AFC Nations League, but it is not something which is going to come for sure. It looks likely to come, but it is still not 100% sanctioned. So therefore, it is still in its so-called planning stages. So therefore, we'll have to wait and see what happens to the AFC Nations League if it does become a reality, does become part of the Asian football system. So that where this idea of a Nations League, of course, copied from the European Nations League, which has been very, very successful. UEFA Nations League in Europe, initially a lot of protest and why are we doing this? Conversations happened in Europe a decade back. Now it's part of the European calendar of the European system. CONCACAF has also installed it and it's been quite successful over there. So therefore, Asia is looking at it, and the AFC has an internal team looking at it. As uh, so yeah. So therefore, yeah. So therefore, yeah. Abni Bharti also has a brother playing abroad. You get me, sir? What I mean? Yeah, Rahul. There are the two Bharti brothers play. Yeah. So this is. I've known those guys now for I think 15 years, or know about them for over 15 years. Actually, know that 15, more than 15 years. They got in touch with me many years back. Yeah, they exist. They're there. So yeah. So that is that what exists. So nothing new, Rahul. Talking about the Bharti brothers. Which teams Grassroots are doing well right now? ISL teams. Nikhil, Grassroots is not the focus area of the ISL teams. Let's be very clear. Most ISL teams do not have Grassroots. I don't know all the Grassroots programs that exist, so therefore it's very, very difficult to judge. The one which I know, which exists and has done good work over the last 12 years, um, yeah, is Mumbai City. So if you ask me which one I know, Mumbai City, but I'm sure the others do stuff as well, and I don't know about it, so therefore I can't judge it. So that's very, very difficult. Opinion of Shubham Dixit. Rahul, I don't have an opinion. Yeah, so I don't have an opinion because again, you'll have X number of players' names being thrown around, doing this, doing that. You will hear the name and then never hear them again. I understand that the IFF may not be able to reach every corner of Bengal, but big clubs like Mohun Bagan and East Bengal can organize junior trials once a year in all districts. Kalyan, East Bengal, Mohun Bagan are even smaller in existence than the IFA. If you think that the IFA can't do it, then East Bengal, Mohun Bagan can't. And why would they do, junior trials across districts? What's the value to these clubs in the sense, right? And yeah, that's the so therefore um, they don't do it, no. So that's the problem. They could do it, maybe they should do it, and then have a residential academy to put these things into the system. So yeah, that's the reality. One is corporates, not academies, friend. They're not corporates. They are clubs under the Societies Act. They have corporate teams with corporate partners in the ISL. And again, yes, they should have academies as well. So therefore, Rahul, I think Kalyan's question is very valid. Chaos on kid sponsor, Akash Tyler's, I wouldn't call it kid, you know, uh, no kid sponsor came forward. The realities of our Indian football in the year 2026, right? Track only should sponsor all national teams. Rahul, they didn't do it. They didn't come forward, right? No one came forward. So that's also a reality. No track only, no 656, no Nivea, no Shiv Naresh, whoever all 10 sports, whatever they have in India. Arunji, are we shameless to support this ecosystem? How can we support this federation which can't even arrange kids for football teams? Lakshya, yeah. Again, we are supporting Indian football. Are we supporting the ecosystem? I don't support, you know, um, and I actually today, after seeing, this is the kit. I'll just show you the picture, you know, and this is the kit from Macron, bought, sourced locally in um, Perth, which India will use tomorrow. So, and you know what? With all problems that we have, sorry, what is this? Okay, oops, what is this? Yeah. I today tried myself to, not tried, I actually did reach out to the AIFF today, but after hearing this, after seeing the Macron kids, because I know the Macron guys, and I'm trying to help, you know, the AIFF, at least for this tournament. Let's see with Macron. Let's see what Macron, if Macron can do it, wants to do it. Which is, let's see what happens. So therefore, that's the way to do it. And and I got to know this whole story that the AIFF sourced it, and whoever was sending the stuff across, first of all, sent it too late because it arrived only on Monday. But it was sourced at a later date because the AIFF thought they would get a corporate, a sports brand to partner them. And yeah, we are in this situation. Now it's damage control. Women's nationally positive negatives. Nikhil, positive that they've qualified for this tournament. That's the biggest positive. Negatives is my doubt in the class to be in that tournament. So what are the major differences between ISL and Trendyol League in particular? What is Trendyol League? I don't know what you mean by Trendyol League, Rahul. It's so symbolic that for Indian women's team, I've only managed to get the kit from a local store in Australia. Yeah, Akastal it is. But I said, what I would have done if I was there, if I would have had my plan B would have been to have two old kits, uh, 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 um, you know, um, of performance. I would have taken a blue version and a orange version with me, and then would have used it for the tournament, right? So that's the problem, and that's the reality. So yeah, so and then someone who I know who is with the team at the moment worked on sourcing it locally from a store. It turned out to be Macron colors and quantity also and sizes, and therefore, yeah, just take it as a joke. I think IFF president doesn't have as much contacts as you do, sir. Maybe, you know, um, um, most probably, Rahul. And yeah, as I say, if I can help Indian football, I've always said this, right? X number of times over the years. If I can help Indian football, I will always help Indian football. In this situation, I reached out to the Deputy General Secretary. He said, hey, listen, Macron, this, that, got a contract, send me, I have a contact, let me send me to me, and let me see if I can help you. And I've now passed it on to Macron. Let's see if the guys tomorrow in Bologna will look at it and see what can be done. Trendyol Super League is better known as the Turkish Super League. Acha, sorry, I didn't know that. Trendyol, I know it as a Turkish Super League, Super League. Um, what's the difference? Well, look at the stadiums, look at the quality of the teams, look at the fan culture in Turkey. Um, yeah, don't compare it. These are don't compare the Turkish Super League with the ISL. But only some people like you are able to do that but it should be responsible. They have to arrange it. I don't know how to help, and I'm not earning right now. Otherwise, I've helped somehow. Lakshya, this is not about money. It is about helping out and saying, hey, listen, I have a contact here, and maybe they can help you out. That's all what I'm doing, right? And to me, it's this is nothing to do with money, right? It's not. This is I'm doing the AIFF a favor. I'm doing Indian women's football, Indian football a favor, right? And I don't even need a thank you in return. I would only say, listen, if India qualify for a World Cup, that would be the thank you I need. So it's a personal question. Does anyone in your family members have contacts with AIFF, or is it you who establish contacts all yourself? I had contacts to the AIFF. I created those contacts. So why would I, I've known the AIFF now for what, 25 years, right? So no, not 25 years, 27 years, right? So I created those contacts. Tamil Nadu supporting local football tournaments. Okay, Nikhil. So the song on Indian football, Kaziranga Greens, it's really amazing. Yes, and stuff, motivation. I've heard about it. I've not heard about it, I've heard it. And really impressive. The gentleman, the rapper, nice song, good content. And yeah, brings it to the point, right? Sadly, um, yeah, right. So really, you're an inspiration to me. Thanks, Rahul. Again, I'm trying to help where I can. Sir, but until performance, not bad, but neither good too. Rahul, let's wait and see where these kids go. It's always a question of how good we are, and where we can reach, how we can reach. And let's wait and see, right? Be it the boys, be it the girls, it's always a challenge, as you know, and always difficult. And let's see how good or how bad they are. But it is, it's always a challenge, in my opinion, in regard to the quality of the players of the teams, and they have to showcase. And time for Bibiano. Yeah, Bibiano is dependent on the quality of the players. It's not on Bibiano. Bibiano, it is on the players to perform. So that's the thing that I think is very, very important for Bibiano and the team. Can they perform or not? And for better president, no, no. I think, given the realities of things, I think Bibiano is our best choice at the moment, and I would keep Bibiano. And given again the realities in the AFF, given the realities in Indian football, I think, yeah, it is not easy to work within the Indian football ecosystem at the moment. So therefore, that's that. Right, 1 hour 38 minutes. If you haven't liked this video, share this video, subscribe to Arun Foot, subscribe to my Twitter under Arun Foot, my X Twitter X on Arun Foot. Uh, so those are some of the things, and yeah, and do also um, follow me on Insta. Visit arunfoot.com, and yeah, that's the reality of things that they are. And let's see where we are. And it's a challenge. It's a huge challenge for us. But yeah, let's see what happens. U20 not just not trending as Bhutan. Okay. Um, Rahul, none of the ISL boys are playing in that, no? Don't remember that. Anandji, no, but we're just clueless. You want to help, but it's not you only. If we, the fans, AFF stakeholders, all. Yeah, Lakshya, I've said that many times, right? That this cluelessness is not a new thing for you. For me, it is there. But I, at least over the years, have tried to help wherever I could, Indian football, and I will continue to do that with no self-interest, unlike other people in the ecosystem. And therefore, let's wait and see where it goes. So, not easy. Sadly, these things happen, shouldn't happen, but do happen. And again, as I said, I'll try and help whenever I can. And with that, nearly 1 hour, 40 minutes on this live on this Tuesday evening. I think, sir, all the YouTubers you get can pressure the FF, you being there, you can lead them. Time for revolution in this internet era. Rahul, sorry, I don't want to be the spoil sport. I don't think that pressure on social media, on content creators or whoever is going to be right. And again, people sometimes are fighting for the right things, some are fighting for the wrong things. Rahul, I've done my stuff. I will continue. And in the past, I've never spoken about it. But today, now I know whenever I do something good, I speak about it. Right? Whenever I'm helping, I speak about it. Okay, take it. If it doesn't work out, I know. But again, I've reached out to Macron. I've told them, I've given them the info. If Macron wants to help, Macron will help. Right? So, uh, so for me, that's the thing. And why do I feel this? Because these people know and understand how football runs? I'll be arrogant on that front, Rahul. I'll be very, very, be arrogant on this front. If you're someone who's posting stuff on social media, someone who's doing content creation, and it's not an Indian football thing, it's a global football thing. Do you know how football really runs? I think most of the people don't. They think they know. To be involved in football, manage in football, run in football, work in sports is different than being a fan of the sport. This is something which needs to be understood, right? And a lot of people stand in Indian football for the wrong things because they're gullible to things of likes and subscribers. That's the thing. Hope the song will reach to AIFF. What impact will it have? The song is great. I love it. But yeah, it's a wrap. Only because say when you football, if you say I can perform a ritual. Lakshya, yeah, that's the stuff things. So my point is, yeah, miracle. But the right people in right positions is the only way for Indian football to move forward. Only way. That's the challenge. So you don't need to explain us about yourself. We know you and how you help soccer. Even things get difficult. Sorry for my word. Yeah, Namita, not problem. Um, to me, sorry, let me just get up 1 second. To me, the problem here is very, very simple. Is I will, as I said, and I'm saying this again, I will do whatever I can whenever I can for Indian football, right? And I've done that, right? So I know. And you know, if Indian football had to pay me for my efforts over the years and the way that I've tried to promote Indian football, be it in the early days of IndianFootball.com and other things, involvement, this and that, everything, again, I can think that would be a budget of a whole ISL. But that is not the question. For me, is everyone can come forward in their little space and help whenever they can. That is the thing that I call on people, right? Try and help if you can, wherever you can, in your little way. And whenever you need to be critical, ask questions, but also ask the right questions. To me, a lot of people asking questions don't understand. As I said today, I got the news yesterday. Someone spoke to me. I saw today midday. Hey, listen, they've sourced kits for Macron. I reached out to the AIFF Deputy Secretary General. I said, hey, listen, you need help? Hmm? He said, yeah, if you can. I reached out to Macron, send the infos, blah, blah. And let's see if Macron can help. Macron will do that. But this is the way to do it. When I need to, I criticize. Yeah, right? And I will criticize whoever it is. Whatever is right is right. It's like today saying very, very clearly that the AIFF Disciplinary Committee's decision to ban Mohun Bagan fans to say for one match because you're using flares is right. That will not be liked by the fans, but it is right to me. And then to dilute that decision, okay, partial floor, then you don't need to do it. Then the whole thing is utterly useless. And I will say that. And again, and that is why a lot of fans will always say, oh, Dada, you take this decision, you take this call and this and whatever, blah, blah. Yeah, I do. But I think I want to stand with what is right and what against what is wrong. And that is what my stand. They're not, yeah, but Laksha, even if they listen to the song, does it change their opinion? No. I'm saying this because the presidents of big clubs often say that they're working for the development of Bengal football. At the same time, they don't give opportunities to young players. Kalyan, they're saying it, but they're not doing it. Right? Then this is the thing. They say certain things because members and fans want to hear that. That is our problem, no? That is why I'm asking these questions. Kalyan, you're asking these questions right, but this is something that you need to ask a question to uh, Devashish Dotto as president of Mohun Bagan, Srinjoy Bose as secretary of Mohun Bagan. This is a question to ask to Nituda and also to the gentleman who's the East Bengal president. These are very valid questions. They will say, no, we're doing, right? Yeah. So this is the thing. A country whose coach and president consults astrologers what to expect, pity on me for my expectation, and sir, you tell lower them. But sir, have you ever thought we lower our expectations? Are having expectations from a team really logical? Um, See, my point is, um, I am too old now to live in La La Land and expect great things. If you haven't, you know, I will tonight post it again. The video that when India qualified for the AFC Asian Women's AFC Women's Asian Cup, I actually cried. Um, so that's the thing. আপনারও অনেক দোষ আছে আপনার কি দরকার ছিল ওদের হেল্প করার when they're shameless. um why am I helping is so to say what Rahul is saying. Rahul, I'm not helping them, I'm helping the women's team, right? Whatever I've done over the last 26, 27, 28 years, I'm not helping the All India Football Federation per se. But if I'm helping, sorry, if I'm helping the women's team, that is what I'm doing, right? I'm helping the Indian women's national team. Nothing more, nothing less, right? If I'd known this, that they're trying to reach out and trying to use Macron stuff, I would have told Macron in advance. Macron most probably would have done something, right? So I am trying to help in this situation. Again, if Macron's going to do it or not, because it also depends on what availabilities are. Are they interested at all? Who knows? Just say you're wearing, I remember it was class. Didn't watch much Indian football design. 606, I guess. Yes, it's 656. Good design, nice design. I liked it at the time. And at the time, gift from the then AFF secretary Kushal Das. I remember I got it before we went to 2019 AFC Asian Cup. Ask tomorrow sporting, then these are questions. Rahul, if they are or not, that's not the question. The question is, what are we doing? Are we doing the right things or are we doing the wrong things? And for me, even if I do small little things to help and support Indian football, again, I will do it. I've done it. I will do. I will do it. And again, in the past, I would have done something like today, but I wouldn't talk about it. Now on this platform, I'm talking about it, right? Because yeah, I'm trying to help. And if it works out, even better. Let me see what Macron comes back tomorrow with. I hope they come back something with. Right, 1 hour 47 minutes plus now on this. Once more reminder, like, share, and subscribe. Help Arun Foot to grow further and further. Thank you to those of you who might be new to this channel, who are part of our discussions. 20 likes of this video. Thank you very much. And as I said, tomorrow, a live watch along, I'll be doing a little bit of a preview on the game as well. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's the thing. The Derby Club stakeholders are very, but Indian players are too good. So now performance are gone. So F is outsourcing kits from local tailors. No, they've reached out to someone who is a kit manufacturer in India to supply them with stuff. And that kit manufacturer has sent out the things. The question to me is, which I think is the question of them all, did the AIFF give wrong sizes to the kit manufacturer, or did the kit manufacturer send out wrong stuff? That's the simple thing. That's a simple question of this mistake. Right or wrong is a different question, but at the moment, it's a problem. I know someone, I can reach out to help in this situation. It's for the women's national team. I don't know if this news will reach them, but if it works, great. Right? And sorry. With that, as I said, tomorrow, live watch along. Vietnam versus India, 4:30 p.m. in India, 12 noon here in Europe, CET. It is going to be 11 a.m. GMT in the UK. Uchut said earlier, East Coast in America, it would be 6 a.m. and also 7 p.m. at the Perth Rectangular Stadium tomorrow. Hoping for the best. Said after long day of study, your videos are really stress buster. But said whenever I see you as a community rounds, it means that I want to settle in Europe, but what financial conditions hard. Again, wherever you settle, I'm born here, so that's and that's the thing. Let's see. Wish you all the best, but didn't have Laksha. That's the point. Yes, most probably they had, but maybe they send the under 20 or under 17 numbers. Maybe I don't know, or the kit manufacturer made a mistake. Someone has made a mistake, right? Yeah. But say, please go on what you're doing. I'm trying to, and so let's see. Junior Nangam, 15-year-old Indian captain, is 5'8", and Avishta Masnet, 16-year-old, 5'7", good height. 5'6", 5'7", 5'8" is actually short. Rahul, let's see. So if they brought jersey from Australia local shop, then how Macron is sponsor? So Simon, they didn't. They bought it from a local sports store. So this is not custom made. This is was available. You can buy, no? Here in Europe, I could buy a generic jersey of XYZ company. They were looking for a blue and I guess for an orange, and this was available, right? So the Macron one matched. As I said, I saw it early afternoon German time, and then reached out to the AIFF. Then I got in touch with Macron, Macron Germany, then Macron Global, and let's see if Macron can help, right? Then then think about my that's the thing. Top three midfielders in the Premier League this season. Your thoughts, Kalyan? I don't watch that much Premier League and in depth that I would go into that. I'm more of a yeah. So that's the thing. Now, sorry, Rahul. Yeah, jersey you have to buy again if you don't have an option. If the thing that you're getting custom made is not fitting, what are you going to do? You're going to wear jerseys which you're not going to fit in. Again, if they lose, it's worst case okay. But if they're too tight, too small, what happens? Anji, at least one thing is final with Sharon was hope. This problem is not forever. Indeed, the night is long, so maybe one day we can see Indian football grow. Laksha, that's the thing, right? So for me, that's been the thing for over the years. We always fight for the right thing and hope that Indian football moves in the right direction. Sujan will be wearing the same jersey or the other jersey. We are wearing this. So everyone, this is the Macron. This is not a custom-made jersey or shorts. This is what has been bought in Perth from a sports, I guess, a sports store. Whatever, I don't know from whom. So this was the most fitting in regard to color, sizes, availability, and I guess also price. So this is what India is going to wear tomorrow. And yeah, so this is something, and this is what we're wearing tomorrow. And you're saying Macron got it for free. Again, Macron is so big now; they don't need this free sponsorship from an Indian national team, men's or women's. Right? I have Macron quality stuff. I have my handball stuff here. Let me show it to you. So I've got right. For example, Eintracht Hagen. The team I am involved in handball. They wear Macron stuff, right? So this is here you see a Macron logo, the same one as on Sweeties. This is the jersey. This is a signed one for the handball team. So this is the designs that Macron does again. And yeah, they do good stuff. They do good stuff. I know polos and all. And therefore, again, in this situation, whoever I know the person who took a call and did this on the ground in Australia. That person has done a good job, right? So Inessa, I can name Apuya, Suresh, and Fana. I agree, sir. He's talking about midfield trios, Rahul. Not as such one. It would be most probably Apuya. To me, is Apuya, Thapa, and Petratos most probably. All right. Hope keeps a person alive, let alone hopes on AFF. Yeah, but again, hope is something which is sometimes very difficult. Again, general in life, hope is much necessary for us. But yeah. So let's see where we are. Last question said, name us a trio and answer in every position. A trio in every position? There's not a trio, right? It's defensive units, this and that, everything, different teams. I don't go by this trio thing and this and that. As I said, if you're talking about a midfield trio, as I said, Mohun Bagan is most probably the best. Defensive, I don't even know a trio. I would always go for a back four or something. I would actually, yeah. Again, Mohun Bagan most probably attacking unit, most probably Mohun Bagan as well. So then the whole team is sort of Mohun Bagan in itself. So that's it. With that, nearly 1 hour, 55 minutes. Let's me slowly come to an end for the last time today, saying it, like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, we will get together tomorrow for that live watch along. Hopefully, enjoy it. And on Chununga, the last thing, Rahul makes too many mistakes, picks up too many yellow cards and red cards as well. Yeah. And let's see what he can do. And with that, thanks. Good night. Catch you tomorrow and wish us all that tomorrow is a successful day for Indian football and for Indian women's football. Thanks. Good night, everyone.